So what life lessons can be learnt from successful comedian turned actor Kevin Hart? You may have seen his recent Netflix series True Story, implying it's based on his life. Is it a true story? Who knows? Well, BookTube, I'm focusing on the book here that's co-authored by Strauss, author of The Game. And I'm glad to say it's actually a really good book and there's lots of learning in there. If you read the book itself, you'll see at the end he says, why would you want to take life lessons from a comedian anyway? It's clearly a joke because there's huge amounts of content that'll summarize it all for you in this short video. So firstly, each chapter in life depends on how you act to it. That's important to know. There's also 8 qualities that Kevin Hart suggests are important for success. Persistence, patience, class, by that how you handle other people, with class not attitude, commitment, learning, passion-centered competitiveness, positivity and discomfort. Discomfort relates to not feeling comfortable, so stopping your success, having that discomfort to keep pushing yourself. It's important to follow your dream with passion. And I think it's fair to say that Kevin mentions himself, he's really a lifelong learner who works hard. And he had a difficult upbringing, at least it says in the book. He'd had some, at times, physical beating from his mother. His father had had issues with crack cocaine, and did mention how if he had a blowjob on crack cocaine, it was really good. Then he realised that he didn't need the blowjob for it to be really good. But the point is, an entertainer may make you laugh, whereas an artist makes you actually understand. And you get a good understanding from this book, because you'll see that some other comedians made small steps go to their head. And by this, they thought that success was having some kind of familiarity in a local club. So that could be the waitress or the valets know who you are. They think that that's fame or popularity, whereas it's just that they're familiar with who you are. It's important to know the entertainer who chooses the easy road lined with cheering fans, offering flowers and the like, won't survive when the terrain gets tough and challenging, whereas the entertainer who chooses the hard road, lined with jeering haters throwing chicken wings, not only learns to survive in any terrain, but if it does become easy, they'll do much better than the competition. And another important point is that the key to success is being likable, and also liked in a community, because it's imperative to listen to other people and who have particular skill sets and knowledge. You've got to do things alone, but make sure that you do things alone with a team surrounding you. Future. It's impossible to have any uncertainty or to have certainty about the future. That's for sure. But what you can do is learn to have confidence in your abilities and faith in your will that you will succeed. And then you can develop some certainty. Because at the end of the day, we all don't know what our destiny holds for us. And if you wait for certainty to act, you'll basically have your whole life standing still. So if you grow discouraged and give up when things get rough, you'll perhaps miss out on your best possible destiny. So the secret is to be excited about what's in your power to control and actually accept what's not in your power to control, and then you'll be able to move forward with certainty into an uncertain future. There's a great expression about shrugging shoulders. If things don't work out, shrug your shoulders and move on. And with that shoulder shrug, you'll let information in and process it. It may feel bad, you'll have bad moments, but then you shrug your shoulders, realize that life goes on, and you'll just be fine. It's important to do your best always, because you never know what or who is watching. And every potential experience in life has a life lesson attached, even if you don't appreciate it at the time. Each struggle in the present is potentially preparing you for something else that is important in the future. And struggling when you're going somewhere is exciting, but struggling when you're not getting anywhere is challenging. And on the other hand, struggling when you're going backwards is hell. But just remember what the enemy to success is, and that's bitterness. There's a bit about bereavement when Kevin experiences the loss of his mother. And what he tried to say is that when you experience loss, it doesn't mean that you've actually lost. It means that you've been blessed with an opportunity to take the moment, realize how special someone or something has been to you, and go through new doors that were closed before to you. So when you mourn, when you hurt, when someone you love dies, it may feel like a void has opened up in your universe, but in the universe, energy can never be destroyed. So if the pain and the absence existed only in my mind, then it wasn't real. And if it was imaginary, and me being hurt or angry about it wasn't going to change anything, there was nothing I could do except let go of a tragic story and embrace one that served me and her better. So I did. Those are his words verbatim from that book. Now, the other things are he found the need to be authentic and true to himself to help his comedy and his acting. And that made him become memorable as well. With his comedy, he certainly put the graft in, doing tours of America. And then when he's done that tour, he'd start again, go into each city and go into as many places as he could. And outlined how, with this effort and a team behind him, his Twitter followers gradually grew. And he was really pleased when he got 10k followers. I see he's now on about 70 million, so well done, Kevin. To unlock a plan, the key is communication. Remember, if and when people are saying critical things about you, it just means that you're worth talking about. And if they're wrong about you, even better, because it means that you're worth making stuff up about. There is a bit about his affairs he had on road, and there was an interesting lady who had a tattoo of a snake on her back, and he put from that point on that he had clarity how to deal with women on the road, because a few people have a snake on your back, and you should never trust anybody with a snake on their back. But most people, you can't see their snake. So if you don't know what somebody is hiding, then shit can go bad at any time for any reason. So before getting into any situation, it's necessary to think, what's the worst possible consequences that could happen because of this? And if you can live with them, then go, sure, have fun. But if you can't, then back the fuck away from the snake. The woman with the snake tattoo on her back messaged him again. He told her politely to leave, or perhaps more abruptly to leave. She then contacted his partner at the time, I think it was his wife, through social media and sent various incriminating photos that led to his divorce. Glad to say he did learn from this experience and seemed to have found a new partner that things were going well with. But you see, otherwise, if you're not careful, your dick will get you into relationships that your head can't fix. His words, not mine. But the deeper the lesson is, that's what's important in the relationship. And it's the bricks that every one of your words and actions lay down that build the home that you're actually going to live together in for quite some time. There's a bit about addiction, mainly it being nasty. Your tolerance builds up and soon you need bigger and more dangerous highs. So he said, I think he was addicted to sex, then got addicted to NBA on the PlayStation. But, you know, it still spent a lot of time playing NBA. But sometimes it takes experience and the consequences to your actions for you to learn that they're actually wrong. How to handle rejection? Well, it's very similar to how you handle success. If you're strong enough to handle rejection without taking it personally, without holding a grudge, and without losing your passion and drive, then you're strong enough to reap the rewards. But if you're too weak to handle failure and disappointment, then you're too weak to handle success, which will only end up damaging your life and happiness. If life's a struggle, then struggle. If you get rejected again. If your dreams are smashed, keep dreaming. Just keep your eyes on the prize and always remember that you have to fail to win. If you don't believe in your own greatness, no one else will. You're limited only by your doubts, your fears, and your desire to fit in rather than stand out. The most important lesson from this book, though, is to have fun. Be the fun guy. So I hope you found that fun, and I'll see you next time.